It's pretty obvious no one does their best work when they're busy and stressed. At the same time, it's also obvious that most business leaders are busy and stressed. How do I know? Just ask anyone running an organization. How are you doing? I'm busy. How are you doing? I'm stressed. Think about this for a second. Most businesses fail, and most business leaders are busy and stressed. Could there be a correlation? Of course there's a correlation. For a business leader to thrive, they have to figure out how to stop working from busyness and stress and start working instead from purpose and good habits. Okay, coaches, in today's video, I'm going to share the 5 key habits that remove or at least drastically reduce busyness and stress for entrepreneurial leaders. This is the Growability Operating System. Before I start, I should point out that there are some things that do not remove stress from a leader. For example, more money. Most leaders think that if they can make more money, then they'll hire more people and all of their problems will be solved. What they don't realize is that more money without really good systems adds even more stress than you had to begin with. Another thing that doesn't remove stress is working harder. Just working a little bit harder is not going to take away stress. And while I'm at it, let me just list a bunch of other things that do not remove stress from work. A brilliant plan, the perfect technology, the perfect work environment, a vacation, a fish tank. Now, don't get me wrong, these things can help reduce stress at least a little bit, especially the fish tank. But the only way to dramatically reduce stress is consistent and healthy habits. Let me say that again. There is only one way to reduce stress at work: consistent, healthy habits. Now, I should also point out that it's impossible to remove all of the stress and busyness from your organization. Any products or services promising a 100% stress-free environment, or a job where you love every day, or a 2-hour work week, these are just ridiculous. I mean, when you do meaningful work, you're going to face meaningful challenges. The red flag is when the majority of your work is stressful and busy. If your stress level is like consistently more than 20%, it's a signal that something needs to change. So, how do we deal with the constant stress and busyness that every entrepreneur faces at work? In 2010, I started Growability because I just knew I was so smart. I mean, I wasn't completely confident, but hey, I've read a couple of business books, so surely I can go help anybody scale. Now, that was a long time ago. And today, I'm not using most of the tools that I started with, although I do still use some of the core concepts. But here's the thing. Not all coaching tools are equal, and not all coaching tools are effective. Today, at this point in my career, I've read more than 300 good books, I've been paid millions of dollars, and invested 15,000 hours discovering which coaching tools actually work. It is possible to reduce stress and busyness at work, and you can help your clients create scalable, effective, and generous organizations. But I also knew this: for anyone to actually change their mindset and behavior, the tools that they use have to be simple and produce immediate results. So, here are the 5 most important tools that any leader can use to make their work less stressful and more successful. Each of the 5 tools in the Growability Operating System is designed to establish healthy habits that you can use to help your clients grow. And each one is tied to a calendar rhythm: one daily, one weekly, one monthly, one quarterly, and then one annually. Applying these 5 tools lays the foundation for growing a scalable, effective, and generous organization. Now, we have a separate video with a full walkthrough of all of these different tools, but I'm just going to give you a quick overview here. So the first tool is 3 daily wins. And the 3 daily wins tool is extremely simple. It instructs leaders to write down 3 wins or meaningful accomplishments each day. If you use the Growability Planner, you're used to seeing the 3 daily wins highlight on each page. Why is 3 daily wins so important? The reason? Neuroscience. Writing down 3 daily wins actually helps you develop your brain. It's an incredibly powerful tool for any entrepreneur. First, it trains your brain to focus on progress, not just problems. And second, it reinforces gratitude for what you were able to accomplish that day. And then finally, it shifts your mindset from, I just need to work harder, into, I need to work more purposefully. One of the main reasons that entrepreneurs experience stress is because they feel like they're not winning. But when you're using the 3 daily wins tool, it solves that problem. Okay, the second tool is a weekly team meeting, and we call this the WATCH meeting. WATCH is an acronym that stands for Win of the Week, Agendas and Announcements, Team Recognition, Commitments, and Help Needed. Remember when I mentioned those 15,000 hours of experience? This is the exact formula that every team should use when they meet for a weekly meeting. Teams need connection, they need accountability, and they need awareness. And the WATCH meeting provides all 3 of these things. The Win of the Week celebrates progress. Agendas and announcements create alignment. Team recognition builds culture. Commitments reinforce personal ownership, and Help Needed normalizes asking for help and fighting isolation. The third tool in the Growability Operating System is a monthly leadership meeting. And for this meeting, we use the acronym CLOCK. I know, it's kind of cheesy. First you check your watch and then you check your clock. But I guess the reality is, in the back of my mind when I built both of these tools, is I didn't want to waste anyone's time. Because frankly, I can't stand meetings that waste everybody's time and do not create progress. Using the watch meeting and the clock meeting ensures that you're not wasting your team members' time. So in a clock meeting, you cover the 5 most important things that a leadership team should review each month: cash flow, logistics, opportunities and obstacles, customer focus, and key priorities. Whereas the watch meeting keeps the team on track, the clock meeting makes sure that the entire organization is on track. It aligns all of your leaders to work together and be on the same page. Okay, the fourth tool is the quarterly tool, branches and goals. Now, we have an acronym for branches, but we don't yet have one for goals. You can feel free to drop your suggestions in the comments. Maybe we'll send a prize to the person who has the best goal acronym. But here's the thing, quarterly goals matter. They keep an organization focused and moving forward. The problem is that most organizations just pull goals out of a hat instead of using a system to decide what really matters. So Growability's goal setting tool starts by using the acronym BRANCHES. BRAN stands for the business responsibilities absolutely necessary, or the departments of your organization. C and H represent challenges that need help. And then E and S define executable strategies for growth or stability. Now, once you work through all of your branches and you answer those questions, you list the key milestones for each area. Then you can create quarterly goals. By looking at all of those milestones, I choose the top 3 goals, one for growth, one for people development, and one for stability. Okay, maybe I do have an acronym, GPS, growth, people, and stability, but we're not going to talk about that. Okay, finally, the 5th tool is an annual tool, and it's a pruning tool, and we use the acronym LOP and CHOP. When you're looking at dead weight in your organization, things that are holding you back, this tool provides the questions that help you make wise and strategic decisions. LOP stands for low performance, overextended, and peripheral, and these are all things that need to get pruned from your organization. CHOP stands for cost budgets, making sure that you use the cost budget tool, the Growability cost budget tool, for each of your budgets, holdovers, overlapping, and profit leaks. Every organization has to simplify if they want to multiply. And annual pruning helps to recenter your mission, rediscover resources, and gain clarity for your quarterly goals. Now, a quick note about all of these acronyms. I didn't design these tools and I didn't design these acronyms to be cute. In fact, most of these tools started out extremely complex, and we've spent years to simplify them down to simple, practical business tools. Now, your clients, because they're entrepreneurs, are going to want to change them. They're going to want to tweak the acronyms or add steps or add different things to the meeting. But here's the truth. If you let them do that, you're letting them shoot themselves in the foot. These tools are very simple on purpose. They ask open-ended questions and they work for any size business. We have to coach our clients to trust the process and not reinvent the wheel. So don't change the tools. Don't let your clients change the tools. Okay, one final thing. You might be wondering, why are we giving this operating system away so cheaply? I mean, if potential clients can just go get the operating system without hiring a coach, isn't that going to cut down your coaching revenue? So here's my answer to that. One of my biggest passions is to democratize business education. I've been to 30 countries. I've seen poverty at every scale. And the truth of the matter is, I just want our tools to be accessible to entrepreneurs throughout the world who are just starting out or simply who can't afford a coach. And yes, it may take away a little business, but we know that working with a coach is going to produce exponential results. And any client who understands that, they hire a coach. But I wanted to make anybody who just can't afford this toolkit, put it at the cheapest price that we can offer so that we can help as many people as we can. Okay, that's it for today. The Growability Operating System is the single most powerful tool for anyone starting with growability. It's a simple, practical system that creates scalable business growth. Thank you for liking and subscribing to the Growability Coaches YouTube channel. Our mission is to equip thousands of coaches to impact millions of entrepreneurs. And if you're an entrepreneur watching this, please go work with a certified growability coach or consultant. And you can find one by visiting our website at growability.com.